band that's showing up. Let me change that to a blue arrow so you can see it a little better. This is where some of the heavier snow is, kind of shifting off to the south and east of St. Louis at the moment. Now, while this band is continuing to kind of shift over towards O'Fallon and then heading up towards Trenton and north of Trenton up the road towards Highland, I wouldn't want to be on those roads right now just because it's coming down pretty good. And what we saw earlier this afternoon is when that snow picks up like that, it's just, the road crews can't keep up with it. So when we look to the north and west, this doesn't look overly impressive, but we think this band that's out here to the north and west of us, and you see the snow starting to pick up again towards Bowling Green, you see that band picking up. So our anticipation is that we will see some more snow in this secondary band coming in. And that's the one that's going to give us the additional accumulation. Timing it out for the next few hours, we're right around 24, 25 degrees. I don't think you're going to see temperatures go up or down much at all for the next several hours. And that's just the way it is. I mean, you're about steady. Now, one thing to notice here on your probability of precipitation, notice how that has increased here or goes up around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That's when that next heavier band's going to push in. So when that band pushes in, that's going to really ramp up our snow chances here. And that's the one that's going to give us another inch or so of snow. So while that's coming down, it'll be just like what we're dealing with, what we dealt with earlier, where we were kind of stuck. And the road crew's not going to be able to keep up with this band as it slides through the area. Notice the temperatures are still cold in the 20s. They're not going anywhere. The band really comes into St. Louis, really picks up about 7:30, 8 o'clock through about 10 o'clock, and then it slides south and east of St. Louis. And as it pushes away, the snow comes to an end. That should give the road crews time to get a handle on the situation during the overnight hours. Even though temperatures are very cold, they put down the chemicals, and that should effectively knock things down and get the roads in better shape so that by the time we get to tomorrow morning's rush hour, we're still cloudy. We're in the upper teens to lower 20s. There's still snow on the ground, but at least we're able to get around a little easier than what we were doing today. Now, there still might be a few snow flurries in the morning, and since we're going with fairly light winds overnight, I wouldn't be surprised if, and it's for sure, we're going to have some slick spots. I mean, there's really no question that there will be some slick spots around, but at this point, I don't think we're looking at additional snow after midnight that's going to complicate things. So we should be in pretty good shape there. Now, if you're working construction tomorrow, I saw the roofing trucks today, the delivery trucks out, in the snow trying to make deliveries. I don't know who's climbing up on the roof to put that stuff on somebody's roof, but not when there's snow up there. But tomorrow, a lot of clouds around. I do think we'll see a little sun in the afternoon, but look at your temperatures. They're just struggling all day long. The good news is we won't have a lot of wind to deal with in this kind of scenario. All right, right now, there's downtown St. Louis. The snow is continuing to fall in St. Louis. The visibilities haven't been too bad. Earlier today, they were down around an eighth to a quarter of a mile. When you get that, you get the really heavy snow. That's when it's really coming down. And that's when we had all the problems start to develop on our roads. Now we're at 25 degrees. The high today was 25, and I think our low was, does it look like 20, maybe 23, and 0.27. That is melted snowfall. So we're up around 2.5 inches was the last report we had. If we get another inch officially at Lambert, that would tie the record daily snowfall like we did on Saturday. So we could have 2 record daily snowfalls in 3 days, which is a bit unusual for December in St. Louis. It is the first day of December, right? Okay, so we're going to see those temperatures basically hold about steady here for the next several hours. And then as we go into the next several days, we're going to get into a bit of a pattern change. And this is good news. So here's your 7-day forecast. So tomorrow's a cold day, We'll be lucky if we even get to 30 degrees. Tomorrow night's cold, but we expect temperatures to go up close to 40 here on Wednesday. There is another surge, though, of Arctic air that is coming Wednesday night into Thursday. So we're dropping down. Some of us may be in the single digits by Thursday morning, especially north and northwest of St. Louis and with snow on the ground. And again, on Friday morning, that potential exists. We're going to struggle to get back to 20 degrees for the high on Thursday. I'm pretty sure some of us will not get there. That's how strong this Arctic air is. And once you put snow on the ground, when the air is coming from the Arctic, you know, if that air is moving over ground that's warmer than it is, it kind of loses its punch a little bit. It's able to warm up a little bit. You don't get to moderate that air coming from the Arctic when there's snow on the ground. So you kind of get the full blast. So this is going to be a truly Arctic blast here for Thursday with highs only in the lower 20s. Now, as we go towards the weekend, it does look a little bit better. We see temperatures moderating some over the weekend. And we expect to see over the weekend temperatures getting closer to 40 degrees by Friday and then holding in the mid-30s for Saturday or Sunday and Monday. And then it looks like as we go into next week, there is a trend for the pattern to shift. And instead of this cold pattern that we're in right now, we will shift it over to a more seasonable or maybe even above average pattern going into next week. And we probably get some highs back into the 40s. I'm going to go ahead and pop that 10-day on here and just we'll take a look at that. We got the numbers in there. Jimmy did a lot of the forecasting today since it took me 2.5 hours to get in and drive the 30 miles that I had to drive today. That was, like you, kind of an annoying drive today. All right, so here's the next 10 days. Notice the trend next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't see any big storms coming at this point, which is great news. But we should warm back by, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It looks like we're back around or a little above 40 degrees. So that would certainly be good news to melt some of this and to get us back into what would be more typical for this time of year, not above or below average. In the meantime, we still have to be prepared and prep for what's to come. So the areas of snow will continue through 11 o'clock, with the next band really picking up between 7 and 8 in St. Louis and continuing until 10 or 11. The slick roads will still continue. The travel delays will continue. Extra time, you're going to need it. Even though the roads are better now than they were, you're still going to need extra time. You cannot do the speed limit at this point, and just hope that you keep moving. That's kind of the thing we've been hoping for this afternoon. It's just like keep moving. That's been a problem. You need the snow brush too, because you get more snow on your car, you're going to have to brush that off. At least it is a light powdery snow that we will be dealing with as we go through time. I'm going to go ahead, Jacob, I know you're listening back there in the audio booth, give you another picture of what's going on with the cameras around the region. I'll let them pop in here for us. And again, the snow is picked back up in Highland, Illinois. You got a little more now than what you had before. And so with that in mind, potentially let's take a quick close-up of Highland here and see what it looks like on the roads there. You can see, you can get around. It's, there's just one lone car. There's two. You can still get around, but you can't go as fast as you probably would like to go. That's the bottom line at this point. And, today, west of downtown, it just really got bad really fast, and MoDOT just could not keep up. There's St. Charles now, and at least the traffic is rolling along and moving. So this looks much better than it did, and I think that's the trend for the interstates across our area at this hour. And I think that's the trend that we are going to see here going forward for this evening. So I'm going to leave you with this radar here in a few minutes, and Jacob's going to switch over to the streaming show that will take us up to the top of the hour for 5 on Your Side at 6, and we'll be with you from 6 until 7, and then 7 to about 7:10 or 7:15, and then probably again about 7:30 and 8. We'll try to do every 30 minutes with about a 10-minute update based on what we see happening and what we know and any new information that we get. So at this point, the heaviest snow at the moment south and east of St. Louis, and it's a couple little bands there. We're getting a break over most of the metro, especially the areas that were hardest hit. And now we're waiting for that band back to our north and west to fill in, and we'll see how that evolves over the course of the next hour or so.